Oh, snap.
Hi, everyone. You can see us. You can hear us. You might see we are a little light-handed today, but that's fine. We're going to do things because we're going to go explore the town of Amber's Peak because that's where we left off with
Awesome.
Jake's character, whoever his character's name, heading off to scout out Amber's Peak. I guess it's Osborne, yeah.
Osborne, I think.
Osborne going to go
returned.
scout out Amber's Peak, and he never came back. He just got lost in town somewhere.
Probably found some good food and beer, and
Yeah.
He found people who really want rides on Bob, and so we're just never going to see him because he's just going to come back with all of his bank from Bob rides.
That's it. That's it.
there it is.
And then Frendon's character Amar. Sadly, Amar came down with something, so he's out relaxing, trying to recover. And Amar totally doesn't have a bug that's the same name as everyone's favorite Cerveza.
Definitely does not.
Definitely
Not that.
I was actually, my first thought was like, wait, Franklin? No, sorry, tequila. Yeah, got it. Okay. Like, different bug, different game.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, we're just gonna, pick up with that's the wrong tile. The approach.
Are we fast tracking some tiles here?
Yeah, I'll listen. I'll give you the check boxes. You traveled through those, sure.
Okay.
So at the end of the XP session, when I say, hey, did you travel through any things that you haven't? I'd be like, yes, there you go. Congratulations.
Yay.
I'm still here. I can still do the rolls for those travel stuff.
We don't need to get into an accidental, random encounter with a wyvern with like machine guns tied to its toes.
I mean, it'd be pretty sweet for about 3 seconds.
Good to know that's a possibility.
Hey, Bert.
Flee.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see that now, but
Wait for machine guns.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Talk about overkill.
Right?
Can hide behind trees and just say, like, you'll never believe what we saw. Did you fight it? Oh, hell no, we hid. But we saw it.
So yeah, Amber's Peak, and actually I have a map for Amber's Peak. I'll just kick everyone over to it so you can see what the fuck I'm talking about. Let me adjust it so the stream can see it.
I just realized I'm on the Defenders Kobold channel. I'm like, why is there nobody here?
I'm all alone. What happened?
He's talking to himself. We're not really live anyway.
Yeah, like we're not even live. I'm just.
Like, there's like a whole lot of people on our channel for some reason, though.
Why? How many are watching?
Why not?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like 13 people are on our channel.
Post in the chat. Say, go to Free League. What the fuck's wrong with you people? I'm gonna go there. I want to tell them.
Do we not host Free League?
I don't fucking know.
Should probably do that.
Settings. Yeah. That auto hosting stuff gets tricky.
Let me see if I can start hosting it.
I'll tell you, I love the artwork for Forbidden Lands.
There we go. I have us hosting it.
So good.
Okay. Yeah, it's good stuff. I love that map. So as you're all approaching the main road, you can see kind of this mountainous castle up in the distance. You get the smell of, livestock, and you get the smell of like coal fires. You can hear in the distance the rhythmic pinging of you would know as like a blacksmith, as someone's working steel. But as you're approaching town, it's, right towards the edge, you come across two dudes on horseback, and they're circling each other like West Side Story style.
Got knives out that they're
weapons or anything.
They got lances.
Oh,
okay. I mean, that's a knife on a stick.
And they're hurling insults at each other. One of them's like, you good-for-nothing quard, you newcomer. You are not even living by the traditional ways. That horse is mine by all rights. And the other one's just like, Ravenland is ours. We've been here longer. We've been in service of Zertrom longer than you have. We have higher honor. That horse is mine.
Does the other one respond to this in some way?
Yeah, they just go back and forth. Just this pinging back and forth. Insults. One of them keeps calling the other one like a filthy quard, and keeps talking about how they're nothing but posers and they've lost their way. They don't even live by their traditional lifestyles anymore. And the other one calls the other one like, you're nothing but a newcomer. You know, we've been here. We've tamed this land. It's ours. You know, how dare you come here and disrespect us at this holy site.
Is there an audience for this at all?
No, it's just these us? Two. Like, you're all just walking along the path and you just happen along this. But yeah, there's no one else.
Know what it is that they're carrying on about. You know, the heritage Quard. Or whatever.
What was it? Yeah, do we know anything about that?
Quard. You could.
Open to make a lore check.
Yeah, lore check. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah. You go give me a lore check then, Dan.
There's no possible way Dan could fail this. I mean, this is...
Oh, there's one success out of all that, and I still get to roll my one d8 here, so...
D8 doesn't pop off. That's fine.
I've heard the word.
Zertrum is the name of the ruler of Amber's Peak.
Okay.
And actually, there's rumors that Zertrum is the son of Zeogfer. I don't know how to pronounce that. But Zeogfer was the longtime sorcerer king of the Forbidden Lands, who's recently just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. No one knows where they're at. But Zertrum is rumored to be Zeogfer's son, a powerful sorcerer in their own right. As for the Quards, you would know the Quards. It's a group of people that live in the Forbidden Lands and have been here for quite a long time. They're actually just like everyone else who's not an elf or a dwarf or an orc. You know, they're immigrants into the Forbidden Lands. Quards actually come from the land to the west, called Aslan. Now Asleen, I don't know how you pronounce it right, but it is now referred to as the Ashen Lands because it was pretty much destroyed by volcanic activity. And so the Quards were the first group of migrants to come over to the Ravenlands. And they came over long before their country was destroyed by volcanic activity. And they were hoping to escape clan battles and rivalries between the different clans. They're all a very nomadic group. You know, they all value their horses. They all never settle down in one place. Since moving in, the Quards have become, they're still renowned warriors, and they still are well known for their horses, but they're mostly farmers now.
Do they look like humans, or do they have like...
Yeah.
Okay.
They're maybe a little bulkier, a little stronger than the regular human, like a different subset of human. But yeah, they're still just humans. And the other one they're wearing the same kind of garb, the traditional Ashen Land, like nomadic dress. And you would probably have some idea that the latest group to come over from the Ashen Land, and I say latest, they've been here for decades, would be a group called the Galdane. And so if you had to take a guess, and it's no secret that the Galdane and the Quard just fucking hate each other.
Okay.
Perfect.
So that's your lore check, Dan.
All right, well, that's something.
So I guess, I would look towards everyone in the group that's here. Some people are probably napping in the wagon. We've got our NPCs with us, and I'll just with an exhale, that like this resignation, I'll look over at Steely Dan and, well, should we do something about this?
Maybe we can see what they're on about. If we can disperse this a bit.
Yeah, all right. And I'll pull out one of my instruments and I'll start doing the kind of really cliche bar thing, just like singing something as I walk up, some sort of like calming, soothing type song, definitely not like thrash metal or anything.
All right.
And I'll be like, Like, are they both? I mean, are they both men?
Yeah, both dudes.
Okay,
yeah.
so I'll be like, gentlemen, what seems to be the pertinent problem here? What's what's with all the ruckus?
The one from who keeps getting called a Quard, from that clan. This one has insulted me by trying to bid out a prized horse from under me. And the other one would then counter back like, it was my horse to bid on. A filthy Quard has no rights bidding on a horse like that.
I see.
You both have the coin.
Of course, we both have the coin. And in a situation like this, the Quard bellows out, kind of almost falsely. You get a little bit like he's a little more bravado than he feels comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
In a situation like this, an insult to our clan's honor, a fight to the death is the only thing that can appease this.
Oh, no. I mean, there's no reason to go killing anyone here. It's just sounds like a simple misunderstanding of some such. Which one of these horses is it that y'all are fighting over?
No, it is neither. These are our own horses. It's one of the horses from the market.
Oh,
so
I
you
see.
don't like your own horses then?
No,
Yeah, what's
we're
wrong
getting
with
more
these?
horses for our own clans.
I see. And this was like a free and open auction, or?
Yes.
Okay. And did the auctioneer sign a winning bid or anything like that?
No, our argument halted the auction until it can be settled. So either we have to fight to the death and the survivor gets to purchase the horse at the winning bid, or we have to find a third party to willingly take the debt of the horse on themselves. That way we can be free of this and these insults to our honor by this filthy Quard.
I'll lean back to Balari and Stealing like,
You got the money for this?
how much coin we got again? I mean, we
Lot. We're
Plenty.
pretty flush at the moment.
The Galdane hollers like, do not look to these
could
outsiders.
I like Bert's suggestion: buy the horse, cut it in half, give one time.
There you go.
And I'm trying to think of a way to. Indian Viking was asking about a quick intro to the game. I'm trying to think of a good way to give a quick intro.
What are we doing? We forget. Did we even skip introductions?
I think we did.
Oh man.
You did.
Yeah.
We just kind of went into
We're just so into playing. That's fine. Hey,
Yeah.
We went right in.
we're Defenders of Kobold and the Lollygaggers, Adventures of Lollygagging. We're here playing Forbidden Lands. I'm Chuck. I run Defenders of Kobold, twitch.tv/Defenders of Kobold. Dan's my right-hand man over at DOK. And Jeff and Melissa, why don't you say some quick words?
Quick words: Adventures in Lollygagging, twitch.tv/Lollygaggers. We play a lot of free league games and other types of indie games. We're playing later today, like 5 Central on our own channel. If you want to come check that out, we're playing like a Best Left Buried, different game. But that's the big thing. We also play Vaesen on this coming Monday on this channel. And then every other Monday we play Alien on our own channel. So we play, like I said, play a lot of free league games.
Yep. Cool. That's us. Dan's playing Steely Dan, our thief. Jeff is playing Waits, our bard. And then Melissa's playing Valari, our druid / master chef.
Yeah, well, used to be Master Chef.
Used
Thanks
to.
for bringing that up.
Sorry. Didn't mean to hit a nerve there.
I lost my pride last session.
And basically, we're just a group of wanderers. There's a couple other in our party that aren't here. We also have I have like a little band that we're starting to put together with like a wandering bard that we found that comes along with us, and we're just kind of doing a hex crawl, right? And we just made it to Amber's Peak, and so there's another town that we've been just heading to, just exploring, looking for a place to get our stronghold as well. I think we're constantly keeping an eye out on real estate markets. Yeah.
There we go.
We may just go sit somewhere until we claim it as ours.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Squatters' rights.
Squatters' rights.
Ours rights.
So where were we at? Yeah, you were all
Checking our funds. So we'll say, what was the bid on that horse, y'all? What was the win bid?
the
Highest bid thus far, I should say.
the Galdane will come out like, you could not afford this. This was a fortune for our people. And the Quard would just kind of look at you like 6 gold.
6 gold.
Yes,
6
for a
gold.
prize-winning warhorse.
I'll lean back and I'll kind of snort, and I'm like, that's just like a good evening for me. But
It's like a good dinner.
yeah. So
not that I have 6 gold.
I mean, my personal wealth, I have like 2 gold and a bunch of silver. What's in the party funds?
I believe we each got
I didn't
30.
Okay.
Like 31 copper, 20 silver, and 6 gold from
okay.
last
well, then
session's adventures. So I think we're
maybe I didn't write that into my sheet.
Okay.
doing
Thank you.
all right.
All right. So then, yeah, I have more than 6 gold then with that extra stuff. So that, do we want to offer to buy this horse? Like, we have 2 horses. I know I bought 2 horses a while back for the party and the wagon. But do we want another horse? I don't see why not.
It's a prize-winning warhorse as well.
It's a warhorse. I see. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I am a world-renowned musician, performer. We're traveling kind of low profile here. I'm actually kind of a big deal in some places, and I can't think of a more a finer acquisition than a prize-winning beautiful horse for someone such as myself. So if you all wouldn't mind escorting us over to that there auctioneer, I think I'll go ahead and buy this horse off you.
Both of them seem very relieved when you utter those words. Yes, well, that would be an acceptable way for us both to keep our honor and resolve this.
And your lives.
Yes, those
Yes.
are worth quite a bit. And the Yaldane's like, well, a cord life isn't worth much, but we'll take what we can.
Oh, okay. Let's just focus on the positive here, fellas. Oof. Okay.
People got some problems.
So yeah, they escort you. I've got it flagged as number 4 there on the map. It looks like this may have been like an old Colosseum at some point, and they've just turned it into this giant like horse market. The seats are full of people just looking at the different horses that are being shown. There's paddocks and stables all around it. You see as you enter into the town, off to the what would be the right, you see just hundreds of tents of horses standing about people. You're going to guess this is where one of the groups is living. Kind of off and out of the way, you see a smaller group of tents. The tents actually look to be in a lot newer condition at this camp up to the north. But the ones kind of down to the south looks like they've seen a lot more use and wear and tear. But yeah, they gladly escort you to the into the stables. What's going on? There we go. Into this market, and they go up to like one of the auctioneers, like, this one has agreed to accept the ownership to resolve this feud. And the dude's like, well enough, and he gladly accepts your 6 coins, and they bring out this giant hulking horse. This horse looks like it could just kick someone into space.
It's a horse for me, so I can die on it.
And so they're like, yes, this is, well, we've not named this horse yet. What would you name it?
It's an interesting question. So large.
The Quard chimes in like, I was going to name this magnificent beast Buttercup.
Buttercup. And what were you going to name it, the other one?
Death Stallion.
Okay. I think what we're going to name it then is a Death Cup. No, that's not right. Butter Stallion.
Butter Stallion.
Butter Stallion. This is Butter Stallion. And this is about peace and about bringing people together.
That's they Very well. You've done us an honor this day, and I hope that Butter Stallion serves you well.
I also thought about suggesting Horse the horse.
Mm-hmm. I'm sort of starting to think maybe Death Butter. I don't know.
It could be, yeah.
We're gonna workshop it a bit, but we're starting with that, you know.
Yeah.
Butter death.
But butters. Okay, we're good.
There's time.
All of those are just like nicknames and such. Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of enters you into the village of Amber's Peak. As you're kind of walking through town with this giant horse in tow behind you, you're definitely getting some impressed looks from some of the different Ashlanders, all kind of dressed up in their, traditional nomadic garb. And
That's our fine horse.
Yeah, they're admiring that horse. That's one fine horse. You can kind of tell from looking at the two groups, kind of taking a few minutes to kind of look at the people. You can actually easily tell which one are Cords and which ones are the Galdanes. The Cords, they're wearing very nice looking nomadic robes, but they all look very new. They're all in kind of like traditional style, but you can tell they aren't used a lot, while the other ones, the Galdanes, their traditional robe looks very well lived in. So yeah, but yeah, you can, once you make it into town, you can hear from what's on spot number 5 there, just this giant open market that's nothing but blacksmiths. Maybe 25, 30 fires are going. All sorts of different smiths are crafting all sorts of different things. And you can actually kind of see down the road a little bit. There's an old farmstead, but the barn has a sign hanging out front of it, signifying it as like an inn or a tavern.
Might as well get situated. See if we can find a tavern, some stables before we go wandering around.
Yeah, we probably don't want to walk all the way around with this horse all the time.
No.
Stable is probably top priority. Maybe we'll make one lap around so that you can kind of get your due.
What did she yell out?
She wanted to let you know that you're full of parts.
Wow.
But she was absolutely shouting it.
I can't argue with that, I guess. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we'll check out the farm tavern.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
See if they actually have rooms or if they're just like a full-on bar.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm trying to remember if I had any equipment that I need to get repaired while we're around all these blacksmiths.
If you needed to, this might be a good place.
Yeah. I thought I did, but I don't show anything that's low on durability.
Yeah. So yeah, this old farm, it's kind of the center of the village. Several stone houses thatched in rushes. Remains of an old wall circles around it, with the old barn serving as the tavern / inn, and it's listed, the name of it on the sign is Augerville. And if you head in, like, you can find the a stable that'll put your horse up for you. But if you head in, it's a full tavern with the upper tiers of this barn. They've converted into an inn with rooms. There's pretty much everything being cooked. There's an open fire pit that they've got someone working at where they're just roasting meats. They've got quite a bit of different kinds of ale that they are putting up. There's a traditional kind of band musician quartet sitting in the corner playing traditional Ashland music. Yeah.
Is there a mixture of people here?
Hang on a second. What's that?
Sorry,
Jeff.
I was just gonna I want to pretend like they're off key and just sort of like shaking my head like this looks like a job for Mirth Gin and Choir. Anyway, go ahead, Dan.
There you go. Dan, what were you saying?
I was just curious if there's a mixture of people here, or does it look like it's all of one sort of people or another? Like the
Um,
chords or the.
you start looking around, and it all looks like it's the Galdane with some outsiders like yourselves. And actually, above the bar, there's a placard, uh, and etched into this placard, it says "No chords allowed."
Okay. I was curious about that.
Yeah, you see plenty of the Galdane and plenty of outsiders, farmers, merchants, but you don't see anyone that you would recognize as what would look like a chord in their kind of newer, less worn nomadic outfits.
I will be seeking out the proprietor of the establishment to explain to them why their musical choices are incorrect.
Sure.
As you should.
You find a, middle-aged, handsome woman behind the bar serving out drinks. You come up, she's like, what do you have?
Well, I have a mug of your finest ale and a few minutes of your time, if that's all right.
You can talk while I work, and I'll be happy to listen. And she slides over the mug and charges you a few coins for it.
Speaking of listening, I can't help but hear that that your house band is a bit, shall we say, underqualified for such a darling establishment that you have here. I'm not sure if you are interested, perhaps, in the services of someone such as myself who could, for the next few days at least, bring a bit of joy and levity and quality to the musical selection here, if you would be interested.
So you're saying you're a minstrel and you want to play here for coin?
Yes, I am. I am a minstrel extraordinaire. Mirth Gin Inquired. It's a new band. I've been solo artist for a bit now. I've taken a few youngins under my wing, and yeah, I think we could bring some. We can bring our particular musical quality to this here establishment.
I'll tell you what. That group there, they're not real good right now, but once everyone's good and drunk, no one notices. They also don't charge me anything. They just play for whatever coin they earn from the crowd.
Well, I'll tell you, all I think I would want is maybe a room or two, and but I'll play for tips. Perfectly fine.
I would be willing to do that, but are you any good?
Is he any good? He asks.
It's okay, Steely Dan, so I can handle this. Yes, I am, as I said, extraordinary. I could demonstrate if you like.
Yeah, why don't you give me a little something on your string box there?
Okay, so I've got a lute and a horn. I'll yank the lute out and give this a roll. Make sure. Looks like we've got an update recently. That's interesting. Oh, they added little pluses and minuses to the pop-up box. It's fantastic.
Oh, snap. I haven't even looked at that.
All right, so let's see. This one for the gear. All right. That's 5 successes.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Nice. You should push it.
Blow this lady's socks off. Like, just knock it out of the fucking park. Like, the tavern goes quiet while you're playing. The other band stops, and as soon as you finish up your little lick that you're busting out, just like roarous applause from the whole entire tavern.
Just a little something I cooked up in my spare time.
She's like, okay, you can play here as long as you want.
Thank you.
Thank
you, madam.
Yeah, room is on me. Food and drink are on me. You keep them happy, and I'll keep them drunk, and we can make some good money off this.
That sounds like a wonderful relationship, ma'am. Well, and what was your name again?
Her name is Samantha.
Samantha. And legendary Waits, you can just call me Waits. It's fine.
All right. And she leans over the tavern and yells, or over the barn, yells at the other band, "Hey, you're all laid off until this group here leaves town." And they angrily start packing up their instruments and storming out.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna bite me in the ass one of these days. But, I'm gonna
Way to make an enemy.
Wrong house band. But listen, that's just the gig, you know. Best band wins. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, she has a servant boy or some shit come show you where your rooms are at. She's like, you can start, anytime, really, but definitely we'd want you up there right after the evening meal.
Of course, prime time. Yeah.
So Balari's been kind of hanging back because she definitely isn't real good with kind of the talking to people stuff. And she's just sort of like head down, just kind of kicking her toe on the ground. And so after that comes up, she kind of comes up and, she says, so might you need somebody to help with some of the cooking? I'm okay. I can like scramble an egg or something, but, I'll work hard. If you need it.
We do most of our meat roasting over there, and old Phil has that under control. Sure, if you want to work for a few coin, we can find something for you to do. Have you ever peeled a carrot before?
Absolutely, I have.
Okay.
I'll watch Phil. I'm sure he can teach me something. And she's just kind of
okay.
Hanging her head.
Yeah. We got some work.
Get
We've got
back.
In back. We got a couple people that work on, some sides here and there, and we do bake some breads. Well, I'm sure we can find something for you to do. If not, we'll just have you out there washing mugs.
That's fine too. Whatever works. I appreciate it.
I feel like this is, in some ways, Steely Dan has to find a way to like secretly help restore confidence here in the background.
I'm just gonna be like, dicing onions and whatever, whatever's needed.
Maybe we can get her like some kind of cookbook or some like spices or something from the market down the road there. I don't know.
Sure. So yeah, you've got your accommodation set up. You've got some work set up.
Yep.
Is there anything else you can do? You can explore town. You can ask around about it.
I feel like it's my job to wander around town and try to get abducted. So
that's fair.
And I'll probably be hanging out at the tavern a little bit and just talking to the people around there, getting a lay of the land that way.
Sure thing. So Dan, I'll give you a quick run through of the town, just so you can kind of wander about and see it. This river that you see has this large old stone bridge stretching across it. When looking down it, you can see young kids and whatnot fishing off the side of the bridge. If you ask around about what's on the other side of the bridge, they would say, the Amber Castle, but only, the proudest and the strongest Ashlanders are allowed over there, and they serve as the personal guards of Zatrome.
Okay, so if I felt like wandering over to take a look, they'd turn me away?
They wouldn't let you get close to the castle, yeah. They would send you away, and if you persisted on it, they would ride you down and skewer you at the end of the lance and then toss you into the river to be used as bait for the fishers.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds less than ideal.
Yeah. Kind of as you explore the rest of town, there's a more traditional kind of shanty town. The Ashlanders, the Galdane, and the Cords, they all live in their tents on the edges of town. So this is more, like local merchants live here. Traveling merchants will come through. They also have a pretty healthy sized fishing community that rides off these docks. And so there's boats always out on this river fishing, and there's also freshwater clams that they go for, and free divers will jump off the end of these docks to go fish out clams.
Wow.
But that's it's not a big town, but out of the two tent groups, the Geldane, they've got hundreds of tents out there, just this huge mass, while the Quards are much smaller, maybe 30 tents at most. And like I said, just highlighting the differences, kind of poking around, you definitely see that, the Quards are putting on their traditional outfits, almost like costumes for situations like this, while the Quards are still just living the life. And so that kind of highlights the difference there.
I feel like there'd be some benefit in just meandering through both areas and seeing if there's any rumors to be heard or.
Sure. So wandering through both areas, you hear the two groups. The Quards are led by let's see. I had this written down. It's somewhere in my notes. Meridia. She's a strong warrior and leader. And she, she hangs out. She does well enough to keep her people at peace. But the real moving faction among the Quards is their priest, Palakis. And Palakis is kind of a zealot in some ways. The Ashlanders have always had a strong relationship with Zetrome here at Amber's Peak. But here recently, the Palakis has received a vision that Zetrome is actually the prophet and the savior sent by the god Horn to help free the Ashlands from the evil sorcerer king Zeogfer.
Okay.
Now, wandering through the Geldane camp, they're led by an older warrior. Let me make sure I have that written down right, because it looks like it says Skunsa, but who knows with my handwriting. Where the fuck did it go? Skunsa, yeah. Skunsa. The old leader of the Geldanes. He's a patriot of the Ashlands. He very much heavy-handedly makes sure that his people lives by their traditional ways. But he also does a good job of keeping the peace with the Quards, who he sees as kind of traitors who've broken away from the traditional lifestyle. Now, the religious leader in the Geldane is a priestess, high priestess, by the name of Scylla. And there's rumors and whisperings as you kind of listen that she's kind of fallen out of favor with Zetrome. But from what you hear, Skunsa is still in good service with Zetrome and actually meets with Zetrome in the castle regularly.
Okay. Gives us a few points to work with at least.
Yeah.
They might be a means to get into the castle if we ever feel like that's somewhere we need to go.
So, Jeff and Melissa, you two are hanging out in the tavern.
Yep.
What were you looking for? Just listening or playing, or what were you doing?
I mean, I'll do a little playing, like a little, kind of like sound checks and stuff, like really small, little intimate settings before the big pyrotechnic show for dinner.
Yeah.
But I'm just asking around, kind of getting a sense of the town. Like, I just want to feel like where are the tensions? Like, where's the conflict? What are the major rumors? That kind of thing.
And that kind of what I highlighted with Dan is what you're going to find. The two clans are fighting with each other. The Quards are trying to prove that they're still true Ashlanders. and then the Geldane, they see the Quard as traitors. You know, you fled from your homeland to escape our traditional lifestyle, and here you are trying to pretend to be something you're not to impress Zatrome. But once again, the Quards aren't allowed. Quards are newcomers to Amber's Peak, and everyone's welcome so they can access the horse market. But the locals here, especially the local Geldane, they do not care for the Quards whatsoever, and they exclude them from a lot of like here at the tavern. The Quards aren't allowed in. Some of the merchants won't sell to Quards in the kind of the merchant area by the fishing docks. But you kind of get that for the tensions in the area. Also kind of asking around. You go ahead and just give me a lore test, I think I want to call it. Is that all right?
Okay. I can do lore.
Yeah.
I'll push. Why not?
Okay.
Okay. It's one success.
All right.
Take a willpower.
So yeah, asking around. You kind of hear that there's actually been some trouble with some of the farmers outside of town. And these are, non-Ashland farmers, just regular Forbidden Lands farmers. And actually, they've been under attack by foul creatures here recently. And, like once a month or so, some horrible creature shows up. And they either band together to drive it off, or they come and they get some mighty, Ashlander warriors to come chase it off. But, people are like, oh, it's just a bear or something like that. But the farmers insist that it's fire-breathing monsters.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah. And the other thing that you kind of pick up through your rumors is there's this Geldane warrior by the name of Guthrum. He's been on a kick for a while, and he's actually kind of pissed off a lot of his fellow Geldane because he's been speaking a little bit ill of Zatrome, because he believes that Zatrome has captured a Valkyrie, a warrior, an angelic warrior from the heavens that is said to have guided the Ashlanders in the past. And Zatrome is captured and is holding prisoner a Valkyrie, and using the Valkyrie's blood to create fire-breathing beasts that Zatrome then releases onto the farmlands.
Sounds pretty crazy.
And there's actually, as you're talking to people, maybe like, oh yeah, that's, crazy that he would think something like that. And they're like, well, if you ever want to buy into it, he's always asking people to help him sneak into the castle and free the Valkyrie.
Where can we find this Guthrum?
He'll probably be here tonight for the meal and for the drinking. If you want to talk to him sooner than that, he usually hangs out in the horse market.
Okay. All right. And when was the last time those fire-breathing creatures descended upon the farmlands?
Well, the last one that came through would have been just a couple of days ago.
Okay.
There's old Mortimer hanging out in the merchants area still, begging for someone to come and take care of the fire-breathing whatever it is that's attacking his farm. But he's got no coin to his name, so he hasn't been able to hire anyone on yet to go take a look at it.
Okay. All right. So I figure at some point we all kind of put our heads together right?
Yeah,
Figure
I
out what
was
we want to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say while I'm kind of doing my sous chef duties in the back, I was just gonna, kind of ask like, well, that's a hard way to make coin by chopping up onions all day. Is there any kind of stories around here of, hidden treasure or, some
Hidden
something
treasure. Yeah,
in the
they would like.
forest?
We don't know anything about hidden treasure. If you're looking for adventuring style stuff, there's always farmers coming through looking for help chasing off whatever beast is harassing their farmlands.
Yeah, I'm not so good with the fighting stuff. I was hoping for just I think I'm pretty good at finding things, finding my way through, the land and, you know,
Well, if
being
you're
able to get places other people can't get to.
yeah, well, I don't know a lot the other cooks would say to you, but if you're looking for some coin in a less traditional way, you may go talk to the priestess. Let's see, what's her name again?
Gilia.
Skillia. Yeah, Skillia. You may go talk to the priestess. I heard that she's looking for someone to do something for her, but she's staying kind of tight-lipped about it. Now, Melissa, why don't you go ahead and give me a survival test?
Alrighty.
See if you
3
can cut
successes.
those onions.
So as you're there cutting onions, just kind of talking with the other people working in the kitchen, you notice that their baker has the ratios for the bread out of whack. Like they're getting ready to over salt it. They don't put enough. I don't know baking, but they're
Sure.
yeah, they're overworking.
Measurements are off.
Yeah, measurements are off, and they're overworking it. But you notice this as you're kind of working, and you're kind of watching it out of the corner of your eye as they're going to make some hard, flat bread by mistake.
So I'll pipe up and say, yeah, my good friend, I appreciate all of the information that y'all are telling me about these jobs and farmland, and I think maybe we were so into our conversation that I think you might be a little off with some of your measurements there. I mean, water in the eyes and everything with the onions, but just wanted to tell you, I think I saw you put 2 scoops of that in there, and I think maybe you meant to put just 1 while you were telling me the story of the farm stuff.
So the baker who's working in there, like, well, I've never messed up my bread. My bread is fantastic. Like you've obviously, onions got you or something like that. Why don't you just mind your business and keep chopping the onions? While one of the other cooks in the kitchen just like, that's why your bread always sucks and no one eats it. We feed it to the hogs, you idiot. And so the first one's like, well, if you think you can do so good, why don't you just go ahead and do it? I'll cut onions for you. And yeah, I'll prove you wrong. And then I don't know, you owe me. You got to do cleanup for me tonight or something.
Well, I mean,
Come on, you were talking big.
Yeah, bread, everybody really likes having a bread with a good, bowl of stew. So if you want to keep making what you're making, I'll trade you and I'll give it a shot. And, maybe I was wrong, but, we'll make sure that the people have good bread one way or the other.
Sure, go ahead. And he'll let you take over the station for a bit. Would you give me another survival test?
All right. Let's see if this goes. That's exactly what I figured would happen. The dice are exactly where my confidence is at right now in my cooking. All right.
You gonna push that?
I am going to push that. 1 success.
There we go.
You make the bread, you work it, you've made better in the past. But he comes up like, well, expecting a little bit more from all that big talk, but it's not bad. And the other ones are like, hey, it's fluffier than yours, so maybe you should listen to our new friend here.
and I'll kind of, write down like I said, you were probably just telling the story to me and didn't pay attention, but here's what I did, and if it turns out okay and you like it, then maybe you could do it again, and I'll just kind of,
Okay.
scratch out what I did.
Okay. So yeah, you work through the rest of the shift. The baker starts kind of referencing your little instructions here and there, and he's turning out loaves of bread for the evening meal, and you can kind of tell through the night that the quality of the bread is increasing slowly with your notes, and you kind of ingratiated yourself a little bit with the cook staff a little bit more. Um,
And I stand up a little straighter by the end of the night.
okay, there you go.
There you go.
So yeah, you all kind of reconvene, getting ready for the evening meal, and then Wade's performance after that.
The real show of the day.
The real show of the day.
Yeah. So listen, man, there's some, I don't know, something strange going on out in the farmlands and such, fiery monsters and such. And then I heard about fiery monsters like up in the castle, like something about I don't know, like the dude who's running this place here might be making them or something. Feel like this might be something we should, I don't know, poke our noses into.
I also heard about the fiery monsters and that Skilla is looking for some people for a super secret hush hush job.
Right. And then there's that other fella, Gutham, this warrior sort who wants to break into the castle. I don't know. What was that castle looking like, Dan?
Boy, not a place that's going to be easy to get into.
Right. And I don't know about how y'all feel, but for me, it's if that's a place where they're making fire and monsters, I kind of want to know a bit about them before we go breaking in.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, one thing you would have noticed, and I kind of spaced this, Dan, is while you're kind of walking around town, you got a little bit closer peek at the castle. Now, the rest of you, when you see it, the castle appears to be this like amber hue, like it stands out from the stone around it. And Dan, as you kind of got closer to the bridge, maybe wandered on the bridge a little bit, but didn't go across it, you actually see that amber hue is actually fire. Fire is climbing up and dancing along the exterior surfaces of the castle.
Well, that's pretty cool. What do we got to do to make this our hideout?
I was thinking the same thing. This looks like this has got us written all over. It's got built-in pyrotechnics for the shows. So I don't know. Maybe we just start small at first. I heard that there's a merchant fella by the name of Mortimer down who's kind of looking for some help. That might not have a coin for us, but it ain't the only way we can get paid. So
Yeah, information, perhaps.
yeah, connections, that sort of thing. So maybe we'll seek this fella out and see if we can figure out what to do with these farmer folks. I mean, I like to eat, and if we've got problems with farmers losing their land, losing their lives, we can't eat.
This checks out.
Speaking of food,
that's my thought.
Guys, I made some like better bread today. Like they were churning out shit bread here apparently, and I gave him a better recipe.
There we go.
So we're gonna have like better bread with dinner tonight.
Take a bite. Like, yes, this is way better than that shit you've been making the past couple of days. I don't know. What the hell?
Yeah.
I meant no, it's delicious. This is wonderful.
That's fantastic.
This is the best bread in the whole wide room.
Really good. Ooh. Can't wait to fill up on this instead of eating the actual meal. Okay. So I don't know more. I mean, y'all got ideas? I think we check out Mortimer and maybe the farms and
Probably a
go
good
from
place to
there.
start. Eventually we'll just take over the whole place.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But I want to make sure that the people know that we came and helped them first, so that when we do in fact take over this area, the farmers are ingratiated.
Yeah,
Don't
maybe
give
they'll
us any
like us.
problem. Exactly.
Plus, look at our horse. It's fucking amazing.
And I had a note, I had a thought on that while I was sitting here talking. I was scribbling out some. I think we were on the right track with like combining the two. What do y'all feel about death butter?
Yeah,
Death
I
butter.
think that's all right.
I like death butter. Combines the two. It's it's intimidating, but also a
I
little stupid, and I like a little stupid.
have a little concern as someone who cooks that death butter sounds like when you cook with it, you kill people.
I mean,
Uh,
I read a book one day. It says too much butter can kill you. So
Mm-hmm.
I read a different book that said butter's actually just fine and it's all right to use
Oh my god,
in moderation.
this could be the debate of the century
Yeah.
right here.
that's the same book you got some of them recipes from the past few days out of.
Well, now, just saying.
All
No.
right. Okay.
What's the nickname for the horse then? Like, are you going to say death butter all the time? Or are you just
I
going to call it
mean,
like,
I don't really call the names of the horses out all that often. I don't even know the names of the other two. So like, the fact that we're actually naming this one
They have
in itself
names?
is
That
think
was
about
just
that.
horse 1 and horse 2.
Steve, this is Earl.
I
This is
think
death
that was
butter.
probably one of them. As long as it's not death by butter, then.
No, it's not. No. It's just death butter.
A
Anyway,
real question is, do we like all take turns with this horse, or
I mean, I don't want to ride it. I just want to take credit for it.
okay, that's fair.
Riding, I could fall off and break my neck. So I like the wagon personally.
Or even like a hand or a finger or a wrist, and that would be really bad for you and for us.
Are you threatening
Yeah.
me?
No, I was just saying you have valuable hands for the party to make money wherever we go. So
Okay.
we should
I got my singing voice to fall back on. Don't worry.
save.
Charm, all those things. So anyway, Mortimer, that we doing?
Yep. I think that sounds like a good starting place.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm curious about the priestess, but we'll start with the people first, making friends with the
Yeah.
people.
I'm just a little nervous about the
Secret
fact that there's
friends.
such a split with the sides right here. I don't know, Dan, and like
I'd be
before we-
hesitant to do one thing that leans one way or the other just yet.
yeah, I want to know a little bit more about what's going on here before we pick a side. If we even have to pick a side, you know.
I'd rather not pick a side. I'd rather be on
Yeah.
the side of the land.
I don't
Okay.
want one group saying, "Oh, you did this and that with them."
Yeah, power to the people and labor and whatnot. As far as I'm concerned, they tip, and I like that.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Mortimer.
So yeah, you can head on over to the kind of the merchant area,
Sure.
in that area.
Oh, I remember. I need to see if somebody can come up with like a prosthetic or something for my severed foot.
Oh, I forgot
Small
about
details.
that.
I forgot about that too. I was looking at my character. I'm like, oh
And you
yeah,
walked-
severed foot.
Around the whole town today with this.
You're just really good on crutches. Uh,
Perfectly normal.
yeah, you could go talk to someone in the smithy about, putting something together for you.
I'll pay extra for a good one.
We'll call it like 10 gold,
Oh,
and
God.
it'll take a couple days to put together. So you're going to be hobbling around on crutches for a bit.
I'm gonna need to take out a loan.
That's, an important piece of hardware. They don't want to mess it up.
It's
And
got to be
goals.
properly measured and
Yeah.
everything, or else you get then the other leg will start hurting if it's
Yeah.
not right.
Yeah. I got to get, some
I've
high
got
quality
4 gold right
leather
now.
padding in there. Yeah.
If I can borrow from the bank, the caravan.
Well, I just bought death butter, so Malari, you can go ahead and toss a few coin Dan's way. I got a show tonight, so maybe I'll get some stuff there. But I'm not saying that like I've spent the most in the party, but I did buy us a wagon and 3 horses.
But you're clearly not counting or keeping
I'm not
account of
saying
who's
I
contributed
make
what
the
to the
most
group.
money out of the group, but I make
not
the
me.
most money out of the group. But Dan just goes off spending it on like comic books and beer.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can
Yeah,
scrounge enough.
Bolari hands over money. There's nothing she doesn't need to replace her foot, so that definitely takes priority.
Just her
Okay.
cooking
Yeah.
skills.
It'll take a couple of days once you hand it over. And they measure you up. They
Okay.
work through it. I'm like, oh yeah, warriors, riders tend to, lose feet more frequently than what you think. So we can fix you up good.
There we go.
Okay.
But yeah, you head on over to the market area and you're able to ask around a little bit, and you are pointed to Mortimer. He's kind of, sitting behind a stall, selling some, half rotten onions. It's like it's all we got. But yeah, they point you to Mortimer.
Okay.
And as you kind of approach, he's like, I have some onions left. They're cheap.
Yeah, all right. Go ahead and just put like about 6 of them. So
Sure, he charges you a couple copper, like
Yeah.
super cheap.
I'll throw him like a full silver and be like, yeah, I'm sure we got ourselves a cooking whiz over here. Be able to do something with them. Onions are like layers, just because the outer ones are rotten doesn't mean the inner ones are, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So listen, friend, we're new in town, just kind of passing through. And I was down by the inn and heard a little bit about some problems that might be happening down in the farmland area, and that you were the one to see about that.
Yeah. I don't have any money to pay you. But I need help. We got a giant fire-breathing boar that's been harassing our farms. It's been digging up all our crops. This is all we could salvage. And there's nothing we can do about it because, it breathes fire. It killed a couple of our dogs, cooked them alive. And he holds up an arm, and it's just completely bandaged in some very old, wet-looking bandages. And, he got me and just burnt my whole arm.
Ooh, that ain't looking good. Why don't you show me that there arm? I'm pretty good at the heel.
Yeah,
such.
he'll gently unwrap it, and you can see there's definite infection setting in.
Oh God, man.
It's in rough shape, and you would probably take a guess, if he can't get this sorted out, there's a chance he might end up losing the arm.
Yeah, fellow, you might want to let me look at this a little bit more. I got some things here and there. Can I roll a heal test on him?
Sure,
See if
absolutely.
I can fix him up a bit.
Sure.
Trying to. Let me see. Do I have any?
DB Creamy. There you go.
Okay. I'll use a bandage.
Okay.
As well, so I'll get a bonus. I'll push.
Sure.
Got a success.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
At
boy.
what cost?
I mean, it's an ugly burn. This is like
Yeah.
This is like 3rd degree. It's kind of gross.
It's super gross. Yeah, you spend some time. You kind of clean it out. You actually have to cut back some of the more damaged flesh a little bit. You do your best to kind of, stitch up what you can. Maybe you have someone get you some wine and you boil it and kind of put some boiled wine here and there on it and you bandage it up real good. He nearly passes out a couple times from it, but you feel better about it. At least, you don't think he's at quite as much of a risk as losing his hand anymore, but you definitely have to warn him, you got to keep this clean. You got to change your bandages super regularly. And if you see any funny colors coming out of any of the wounds, you need to get some serious treatment right away.
Yeah. Every now and then my eyes just kind of wander over to a nearby cleaver. Maybe this might, no, you still got a chance.
But yeah, so yeah, he's really grateful. He's saying he's wet and he's pale, wet from sweat, pale, just from the intense pain of your treatment. But he does thank you, and he does recognize that he's better off. Yeah. I can't thank you enough. I've got the silver that you gave me and a few coins. I'd gladly give you that for your help here with my arm.
No, no, no. There's no need for that. A favor, some good wills. Nothing wrong with that. Uh, and this boar.
Yeah,
I mean, you've seen it.
I have. It did this to me up close. Like I thought it was, just a regular boar. So I went up to go chase it out, and it turned around, and it had a strange gleam in its eyes, and just a gout of flame came out.
Right. When you say giant boar, what are we
just
talking about?
A regular boar that's just, big for a boar. Like
Any other animals breathing fire unexpectedly?
Yeah, we've been harassed for months by all sorts of fire-breathing animals. We don't know where they're coming from. Sometimes we chase them off. Sometimes we kill them. Sometimes there's the coin to come and pay some riders here out of Amber's Peak to come and chase them off. But
got any trackers or anything? Try to run down where their dens might be or something like that.
No one's had any luck yet.
Valari, that's something you can probably do, right?
That is something that I am good at. Finding my way, tracking things.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we could go ahead and take a look at this. We fought some things here and there. We'll probably mosey on down maybe tomorrow or so and take a look. I mean, is it just the one that shows up, or they're they come up in waves?
Usually, it's just one.
Okay, but it's like I heard it wasn't like every day. It was
no. Well, they'll show up, like a new one will show up somewhere in the farm. It's not always, there's plenty of farmland here around Amber's Peak. And it's, a new one will show up. Usually it's like every month. We had 2 1 month. There's been a month or 2 where there wasn't any.
Okay. Could you point us to where we might go for the most recent one?
Oh, that would be my farm, and he'll point you out where it's at. It's let's see if we go back to the world map real quick. I'll say it's where do I want? There's the tool. Let's get a red X.
Wonder if you happen to see which direction it went off in after it attacked him too.
Yeah. I'm kind of worried that there might be something. I mean, it might be the magical thing that they were talking about with that thing there, Valkyrie, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe there's something about this place, Like we see those damn glowing up there and some of the animals starting to breathe fire. I don't know.
Sounds like that guy is doing what they think he is and draining the Valkyrie.
Way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, turning the animals.
I flagged on the overland map in X.
Gotcha.
It's close.
Okay. I mean, anyone's got any theories about where these things are coming from? Why they breathing fire? Anything like that?
Well, and he kind of looks around real hush. There's a rider from the Geldane. Says it's being made by Zatrome. Said he's captured some kind of angel or something like that. It's using their blood to make creatures that breathe fire. But I don't. Why would they do that? Is that even possible? Like,
yeah, I don't know. Magic's pretty strange. Now, I'll look around too, and I'll lean in. That wouldn't be Gutham, would it?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you heard something similar. Okay.
Valari will pipe up and ask, are the fire-breathing creatures attacking anything other than farms?
They've never made it into town. There is the forest here real close, the arena forest. So, some of them, if they're coming from the forest, I haven't heard anything else. But it's only been, we've only seen them in the farmlands on this side of the river, the Wash. So
that's just the closest thing to where they could be coming from.
Yeah, he's like, that's my thought, is they're coming out of the river. But if that Guthrum guy's right, if Zetrom's making it, that'd be on this side of the river too. For here in Amber's Peak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well,
I feel
I
like-
suppose we can start by doing some investigating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. I mean, not tonight. I've got like, between singing, between fixing this fella's arm, I am a little bit spent up here. You know what I mean? I could
Get
use
yourself a little nap before you gotta do your show.
Yeah, we got to do a little bit of a just rest up, hit the trails early in the morning, that kind of thing.
Sure
I
thing.
don't know.
Yeah, maybe starting tomorrow I'll be riding the horse. I don't gotta be walking on my foot.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Death Butter, he's comfortable. I don't know.
DB it is.
Sure.
Okay. I don't like. Let's not throw the word heroes around. This is called investments. Okay,
Yeah.
investments. I'm just making sure. Eventually, when we take over this place, that everyone here likes us, and it makes it
Yeah.
easier to rule.
Some less good business people call it giving them a taste.
Short term versus long term.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
gotta
a
get 'em hooked
long
on us.
con. That's right. There you go. That's the word. We are con men, though, if you think about it. Between
Sort of are.
Dan, myself, Fredden's character, Mar, we're pretty much con men.
Yeah, you
Well,
are.
we're good at it.
You are very
Yeah.
good at it.
We do some good. We do some good every now and then. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with doing a little good every now and then. As long
Keeps
as
the
there's-
favor in our
helps if
favor.
there's something in it for us, but it's not a requirement.
Yeah.
Find the angle, I say. But yeah, I mean, I would probably not want to go hunting yet until I take. I mean, it's like I said, it's been an exhausting day for him mentally, at least between some of the things he's been doing. So
Balari wants to go back and eat more of her actually yummy bread for dinner.
There you go.
Okay.
So
I need to get off my crutches.
yeah, you all head back to the tavern. Waits, you got your performance.
yeah, I'm feeling a little under the weather here.
Now make sure you take your 2 bonus die for your assistance from your
Oh yeah, that's
your-
right.
your trio now.
Okay. All right, and I'm gonna lean over to let's see, what's his name? God darn it, I forgot his name. Alacran.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, buddy, I'm gonna. Whew, it's been a long day, so let's make it a good one tonight,
All right.
And so I will go ahead and take my bonus, get my loot out. I still got 2 successes.
2 successes. That's fantastic. Yeah, you do good. You definitely blow that house band out of the water. Over the night, you'll probably make as people come and go. Let's call it like 10 silver.
Okay.
Can tell the day took its toll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Not my
yeah.
best work, but solid.
The whisperings around the tavern as everyone's eating their meal is that like, oh, the bread's actually edible tonight. Like that's not bad.
That's great.
And Steely Dan, you hobble in with your crutches. You put your lack of a foot up, kind of rest a little bit. Maybe some people take pity on you and they kind of get you drinks when you need them and get you some food when you need them.
There we go.
But yeah, you all have a relatively good evening. Get some food in you, get some free drinks in you, and then when you're finally ready to call it for a night, you're able to retire. Melissa, we'll go ahead and your work in the kitchen, not bad. It's going to net you 4 gold for the day. Or I'm sorry, 4 silver. That's my bad. 4
Okay.
silver for the day.
I feel like everyone is going to be kind of giving the baker all the credit for the bread. Like, man, that baker
Mhm.
did a really good job today.
Well,
So
and you're
it's gonna be like a fun little mixed bag.
Your 4 silver, actually, it's a little over, as the baker's just like, I threw you another coin that way. That recipe actually, it helped out.
Thank you. It's much appreciated. Maybe I'll come back again. I think I'm going to be busy tomorrow, but maybe the next day I'll come back and
Okay.
do some more.
Oh, there goes Jeff.
Jeff disappeared. Yeah, so you all retire for the night. Have yourself a good night's rest. You're able to recover. In the morning, they serve some basic food there, but yours is all paid for thanks to the musical performances of Waits and the others.
There we go.
And yeah, you have an idea of where you need to go to check out this fire-breathing pig that's harassing this farm.
Yeah, maybe I can go costing us more money again here.
Yeah.
Do some scouting.
Yeah. So why don't we go ahead? We still need to do you're traveling into a new hex.
Yeah.
I gotta find there's the party sheet. Yeah, if everyone opens up the party sheet and click on travel. And I think we've got it. Dan doing watch.
And we'll probably change that up. Oh no, I'll leave that there. So we got a lot less people to do anything right now. So
yeah. So let's
Move me down into lead the way.
There you go. Where is? So yeah,
Right.
yeah, if you just want to go ahead and roll your lead the way, and Dan, if you want to roll your scout.
Yep. Give me just a second here.
How does that work? I get a plus.
Okay.
Boy, I'm gonna
success.
not push that one.
So yeah, you successfully lead the way. Oh man, it's been so long since I ran it. I need to roll to see if we get a random encounter.
I get to ride on Death Butter now. So exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's what made this to be a no encounter situation. They saw the horse and they're like, nope.
Yeah,
She's actually just like really slippery, and so people fall off and die.
Oh,
That's how she got her name.
There it is.
So yeah, you all successfully travel up to this farm. You move through a hex, and it's kind of right where they predicted it. This farm, they grow a lot of. It looks like a lot of feed stuff, so like alfalfa, grain, stuff like that. Probably things they can sell at the horse market real easy. You can see they've got a kind of a private little garden out back of this old farmhouse that had lots of fruits and vegetables in it. And you can see it's just been completely dug up, just rooted through. There's scorch marks all over the ground. The old stone fence that kind of blocks off this garden area, there's scorch marks on it. You can definitely tell that there's something here making fire.
Are there any obvious like tracks or
Yeah.
trails or anything? Or...
That would be a job for Bellari. So if you want to roll your, was it survival to
Give me a
scout?
second, I gotta hit the restroom real fast.
There's scouting,
Scouting.
or
there you go.
there's. Okay.
Yeah, I think scouting would work. Well,
I got 2.
yeah, for tracking an animal, it could have been either. But yeah,
Okay.
with your 2, you're actually able to kind of follow the path of where this boar went, and you get the feeling that it is a boar. It matches. It looks like a large boar, but not a monstrously large boar. And as you kind of move through the farmland, it actually kind of takes you through like a neighboring farm, and you can see they're kind of in the same situation. And eventually it starts to lead off towards the west into the forested area, right on the edge of the arena forest.
Mm.
Why don't we get there? Why don't you give me another survival test real quick?
All right. And this is for travel, right?
No, this is just still tracking down the boar, seeing if you can
Oh, okay.
find. I'm going to
No
say it's...
modifier then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And you come up to a what looks like a small cave, like something just dug out a section of earth, like a burrow almost, and you can track the boar down into this burrow. someone could probably crawl into it if they wanted to see if they could track it down, or whatever you want to do to try and handle this situation.
Probably the smallest, but I'm smarter than that. So, do we want to maybe try? I guess we could go inside.
I'm 64. I don't go crawling on my hands and knees through holes unless I really
I'm like
need to.
half that. Hey, Danny boy, how big you?
I'm in pretty average height. I'm an elf.
No, this is an average size hole. You can go on crawling through if you want.
Oh, good. Good. This
So
sounds like a perfect place for me.
Yeah, they
you're
track the boar to a burrow.
Oh, well, said the guy with no foot. I see how it is.
You take up a little bit less space.
You're
Take a
closer
look.
to death than the rest of us, so it might as well be you,
Yeah, there's less of you to die.
Sure, why not?
Sure.
You guys will have yourself a 10 gold foot to keep in my memory when you get back to town.
Don't worry, I'll follow you. Don't worry.
Is this going to be like agility kind of stuff?
Just crawling down in here. I'm not going to make you roll for it. I mean, you're just crawling down a hole. Now it's a question if you're crawling down quietly.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I could sure try.
If you're crawling down quietly, I'm going to have you make me a stealth test. And we'll call it, Dan, you're up front, so you're the only one I'll call that check for.
Wow.
Quiet enough.
Look
you
at
sure you don't
you.
want to push that?
Why the results are the
dead.
same. Damn it.
So you shimmy down this, and it kind of opens up in a little bit to a small cavity. And you're being real quiet. You can see in the corner, sleeping is a large boar. But thin plumes of smoke are issuing out of the boar's snout. Just wisps of it.
Why, did anybody else come with me?
I said I was sneaking. I was coming behind you. Yeah.
Okay, so are we? Is this?
Yeah, we all.
I will motion with hands to kill the thing. Let's kill.
All right.
I'll let you all make an opening attack. Are you bringing your two music buddies with you?
Yeah, I figure it's just the three of us, so we probably need
Yeah.
some help. So
Sure.
we'll bring them along.
Why doesn't everyone go ahead and make me an attack? This thing's sleeping, so you'll get a bonus die.
Okay.
How
And-
large is this area in terms of distance and things like that?
It's maybe like 15 feet across. It's kind of a tiny little cavity. You can't even stand all the way. So like if you're average sized human or elf, you're probably kind of hunched over just a little bit.
Double check my poison again.
And if this thing is not dead after your first go,
Then we're gonna be in trouble.
we'll roll initiative, which I would be very excited for.
Sure.
Dan, how many characters did I kill off last night?
Oh gosh, probably at least 7 or 8, maybe 9. Because you got 2 of mine. I think you got all of Jake's.
Yeah, I did get all of
And-
Jake's.
A couple of Joe's, I think.
No, Joe's. Joe made it clear through.
Or no, not Joe's.
Dion
Joe's was
made it
on-
through. Tyler, I got some of Tyler's.
Got some Tyler's.
And if you're going to push, go ahead and hit that push button. It looks like weights. Well, Jeff, you rolled a couple of times.
I'm rolling for the NPCs.
Ah, that's right. That's
So
right.
the first one was me, which was 1 success. And I've missed on both the NPCs missed.
Okay.
I got 1.
All right. So let's see. Melissa, what was your damage that you dealt?
1.
Just 1 point of damage. Okay. Jeff?
Damage is 1 as well.
Dan?
I was debating about how much poison I want to put on this. I think I'll go ahead and spend 3 willpower on it, so it's maximum potency.
Okay. So your weapon was poisoned. Did you roll your attack?
I'm getting that in here now.
Come on, Dan.
2 damage, and you put some. What is it? They got to make a will save or a save. See if they're
Yeah,
poisoned.
and I may go ahead and push this
Sure.
roll. There we go. 3
There you
success.
go. Nice.
All right, so that bumps that up to 3 damage.
And it's a potency of 9 since I spent 3 willpower on it. So I'll roll the poison here.
All right.
God, I hope I get successes on this.
You will.
2 successes. So how does that? Did they roll opposed on that?
They roll opposed endurance.
Okay.
Base dice equal to the potency.
How did I do? I got 1 success.
Ah, that means it full effect.
So what happens with this full effect poison?
Lethal poison is what I went with because I figured we want to kill it.
Yeah.
Yes.
1 point of damage to strength each round until you're broken. Critical injury counts as non-typical.
Okay. I'm rolling this thing's armor real quick. Okay, so this thing takes 4 damage, and it is now poisoned. So, yeah, we're going to do some initiative.
Boy, we didn't kill it.
Yeah,
Damn
we
it.
did. I don't even remember how we did. I don't want to figure out initiative right now. So I'm just going to roll a d6. I am a 6. The
Six.
NPCs are a 5. NPCs are 4 and 5. And then Melissa's 1. Jeff's 2. Dan is 3.
Our initiative is a mess because I technically get 3 cards to start
Yeah.
with.
You son of a biscuit eater. Let me roll
Yeah.
3d6.
Making it complicated.
And you can pick. We're going to go logos first. So Dan, you get a 1.
All right.
Well, wait. Shit. God damn it. I was going to do popcorn. That's fine. Dan, you're going to go first.
Okay.
Well, Dan can
that's
still
fine.
go popcorn, yeah, first.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, we know as long as one of us gets to go first, then
Yeah.
it's easy.
All right.
We'll all
Dan,
go
you're
into-
going first.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make another attack here.
All right.
There you go.
Wait, I'm gonna push it again.
2 damage.
Okay, still 2 damage.
2 damage.
Mm.
And it takes both points of damage. You just slay the thing.
Ah.
Ooh.
Ah,
Okay.
ah.
That's too bad because
This is for my foot.
I just want to
Imagine
just.
it would have just set the whole cabin on fire. Probably.
I know.
With us in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been
Oh, God.
3 fire damage for everyone in
Oh,
the cavern.
shit.
Wow.
God,
That
so
would have been
close.
very
My
bad.
gosh, that's a lot
So
of dice you
close.
got to roll.
So close. How clutch was that stealth in the beginning?
That was good.
Yes.
So
So
yeah,
one success and 2
You-
failures still.
you easily slay this fire-breathing boar.
Okay. So I figure like maybe we should take a look at it, see if there's anything that kind of stands out, branding, some kind of signs of like surgical change
Tampering or
or
Yeah.
anything like that. Yeah.
So I'll say you could do survival to see what's outside of a normal boar. You could do healing to kind of see if there's, any magical augmentation or surgical augmentation. What's the other one? You can also do a what's the spell check? Or is spell check's just a spell check, some shit.
I don't know.
I'm not sure actually. I haven't really
Animal.
looked into magic.
Yeah. Just whatever you want to roll. Give me an argument.
I'll roll healing since that's my forte, and I'll look for signs of sort of surgical scarring or anything
Sure.
like
Go
that.
ahead and give me that.
Can I
roll.
also roll survival?
Sure thing.
I got 1 success. Would it help to get more successes?
More successes will give you more information. I
Okay,
will
I'll
tell
push.
you. Yeah.
2 successes.
Okay.
then.
There you go.
So we'll start with the healing. Yeah, this thing has seen some surgical augmentations. It's
Okay.
got what you would imagine to be like injection sites along its body. It looks like its snout has been cut open and altered in some way. Um, it's yeah, there's been definite and kind of some of the things you see, especially like if maybe you inspect the snout a little bit closer, you can actually see there's some kind of like scarring, like in runes, like magical
Hmm.
runes inside of its kind of snout area. Probably where you would see the fire would be exhaled.
Okay.
Um, Now survival, Balari, you could tell this thing looks like it's probably had been actually kind of in fetters, like imprisoned for a while. Like you can see signs where it had been like it had a collar at some point holding it down. You can
Okay.
see
Oh, like cut
some,
marks.
yeah, cut marks where like maybe it was strapped down to a table. And its muscle tone, it's big, yes, but its muscle tone's almost a little underdeveloped and it's got a lot of
Hmm.
fat on it. So
Hmm.
kind of what you would expect more of like a domesticated pig, whereas a wild boar would be lean and muscular. So this thing probably spent a good amount of its time in captivity of some form.
Maybe I can try and put their information together and see if I have some maybe historical knowledge on people who've done something like this before, or maybe
You
what
could give
those
me a lore
runes.
test. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or maybe
I'm
those runes look familiar or something.
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm doing my best to skew this in a way that lets me do my one talent,
There you go.
and then
So
we'll roll my artifact die.
that
Got an
artifact
8.
pops off. I think that's 2 successes.
I think so.
So that gives you 4 altogether. Um,
Nice.
you've heard of this kind of thing before. In kind of the old days at the start of the Ravenland Wars, when Zeogfer first came into power, the reason why Zeogfer was able to do as well as they did is because they started they started working with demons, and they would fuse demons with creatures to create monstrosities, and some of these monstrosities still roam the Forbidden Lands, causing a lot of trouble. And this kind of strikes home to that, like maybe someone was trying to fuse some, supernatural creature to give, uh, some kind of like monstrous boar, fire breathing boar, and especially with kind of like the rumors that you heard from the fires, from the farmers and whatnot, and the people in town
Mhm.
that fire breathing monsters in this area is a pretty regular thing.
It's adding up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when Balari did the survival check, and you mentioned that like some of the musculature and such look more like a domestic pig, like does this look like an actual like wild boar, just a weakened wild boar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting. It's not a domesticated pig, but it's like um, got some of traits from like similar lifestyle, getting fed a rich diet with
Mhm.
little to no exercise. So it's
It's
just
been living in a pen.
it's less muscle on it and a lot of fat on it. So
So maybe we could kind of poke around, see if there's any known like hunter trapper types who have been kind of sussing around the woods for things like this, maybe as a way to
Maybe
kind
they've
of
been,
figure out.
yeah, somebody been out there capturing animals
Right.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
for this.
Right.
Yep.
and you would know
Supplying them.
that pretty much straight west to you is the Eye of the Rose through this forest.
Oh, no kidding. All right. Small world. Um,
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember, were they doing anything weird like that over there?
well, the Eye of the Rose, wasn't that the one where there was like the orc folk
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they had the people that were imprisoned,
Yeah.
sort of treated well, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Okay. Is there anything else in this little den of note, or is it just like a bear?
It's
cave
just
for-
bare. It's just
Yeah.
this boar probably found some old burrow or something like that, and just
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I feel kind of bad for this fella, but doesn't look like he had a chance. But I can't go burning folk and killing folk and such. So
Oh,
So
that's
do we
not
need to
good.
like bring this back with us or bring part of it back with us to kind of
I
prove
think,
our
yeah, I think it would be a good idea to keep an eye on this. Especially it's got those surgical signs on it and those runic magiries and whatnot. So
Maybe we can bring like some hair or something that's indicative of having killed it, but
well, we know where the kind of the boar's hideout is. We could always like kind of block it, put a couple rocks in front of it. We know how to get back here in case we need this again for like evidence or something.
yeah.
yeah,
So
do
we
we
don't
want
have
to
to go
take
hauling this
something
around.
do we
And we
want to
could take
take
a little
something
bit of
from
hide or
it
something.
I
and
mean,
then do
take
we want
that.
to destroy it?
We definitely want to take that rune thing, I would think.
Yeah, like you could see, just the scarred flesh inside its like nasal cavity. You could
Yeah.
easily slice its snout off, and
Hey, well, you're the cook, so get butching.
Yeah, I can do that. Should we burn the body afterward so that whoever was responsible for this doesn't
now I
come and
also would
gather it
imagine
back?
you all probably brought your cart with you.
Yeah, I would think we probably go places with it,
Yeah,
especially if we're doing any kind of travel outside of town. I don't think we just want to leave all our stuff back there. So
yeah.
yeah, but we could take it with us. We could leave it here. I don't know if we want to destroy it yet. You never know when evidence might be useful later.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what we'd do with if we take it with us either.
Yeah, as a person who has gotten into a few illegal problems, having evidence that helps clear you of any sort of strangeness. I mean, we're talking about someone's taking animals and splicing them with demons, maybe. I don't want people thinking it was us.
Yeah, I don't want to be seen with one necessarily.
Right. I say we take the runic snout thingy here just to have that as basic evidence of something, and then we can leave the whole carcass here. If we
I
bury it,
will get to chopping.
I just worry if we bury it, then like some other animal's going to come around, dig it up, that kind of thing, eat it.
Do I need to do a roll to see if I successfully get the rune out or don't like cut it all to hell while I try?
I'll let you take it. You don't.
Okay.
Yeah. You spend a little bit of time and you're able to get out the bit of meat that you want that would show that rune on it. And kind of while you're in there cutting it down, you actually see there's more in there. Like someone probably peeled this thing's face apart and put these magical inscriptions inside and stitched it back together.
Oh, wow, that's messed up.
Sign in their work.
Yeah.
Um,
What she said.
you hear the demonic chanting from the other room.
Yes, indeed. So, what are our next steps then? Once we kind of block this little place off, we got our a little piece of runic evidence. Like, I mean, we could. I mean, we went ahead and fixed the farm. So, I mean, at the very least, we know Mortimer's probably okay for a little while until one of these new things gets released on the countryside. Clearly, someone's doing this for reasons, whether or not they're doing this because they're just, trying to, I don't know what their motivations would be. Maybe it's just pure, I don't know, craziness, I'm not sure, but it just seems like something we need to, I don't know, we need to investigate it. But other than like finding like hunter trapper folks, I'm not sure where to go next. What do you think?
Is there something that we could maybe kind of figure out a little bit more from these runes?
You could give me. God, I think
Like
that would
like
be.
talking to somebody else maybe in town
Yeah,
to try to gather more information?
You could ask around. I'm sure they've got someone magically inclined or something like that. You know, the two priests for each of the
Okay,
Ashland
yeah.
factions. They may be able to shed some light on it.
Is there a neutral magical person?
You could ask around. Off the
Bob,
top
the
of your
neutral
head.
mage.
Yeah, Bob the neutral mage. Off the top of your head, you're not familiar with anyone.
Okay. Yeah, I want to try to find
Alright.
somebody that's not aligned either way before we go.
Yeah.
Ask the wrong priest or priestess about this, and we can
Yeah.
Now,
land
did
ourselves aligned quickly.
you want to mention anything to, was it Guthrum?
I think we'll tell Mortimer that we cleared, like Mortimer will clear the boar up, and like whatever other farmers around, we'll kind of say spread the word, and if they see anything else, like come get us and where we're at.
Okay.
But Guthrum, like he was mentioned by Mortimer, so like we could go talk to him.
He would be the one that Dan learned that thinks that Zatrome has captured a Valkyrie.
Okay.
And is using its blood to make fire creatures.
So
and everybody's mad at him.
Right. Do we know anything about Valkyries, like lore wise?
I don't think Dan rolled a lore test on a Valkyrie. Let me see what I got.
I've got.
I can try one.
You can go ahead. Yeah.
I've got 4 currently. What do you have?
5. But
go ahead.
No, go ahead. If you want to do it, you're more magically inclined than I am, so I think it would probably make more sense that you might know more about like creatures of this kind of.
I got 1 success.
It's not terrible. Let me.
Sorry, Jamie's working today, so I got double duty.
We're trying to figure out next steps. We're trying to see what we know about Valkyries and maybe going and talking to Guthrum right now. We've spread the word around the farmers that the boar's been taken care of and to come get us if any other creatures start cropping up. And so now we're just kind of figuring out, is there somewhere we can go to get more info about this magical rune thing, how or who might be capable of doing this, and Chuck seeing what we know about Valkyries.
Maybe I can roll some lore for it.
Bellari just hit it right there with a success. Okay, so he's just seeing what we got.
Hey, we did a quick roll while you were out.
Let's see. So Valkyrie, it's because I'm spelling it wrong. Of course they spell it weird in this game.
I mean, why would you spell it normal?
How do they spell it?
VUL.
Oh.
Kyrie.
So Valkyrie. So yeah, I mean, while he's looking it up, like, I mean, it seems if someone's capable of turning like regular boars into like fire breathing boars, and they're in this area, and like now we've got rumors that it's happening in the castle, and we know that getting into the castle it's under guard. Like, I mean, we know that Guthrum wants to sneak in. It seems dicey.
So it might be easier to have a good way in to start with.
Mm-hmm.
A Valkyrie. That's why I couldn't find it in the bestiary. It's not a creature. It is a holy shield maiden of the god Horn. So very much like these are the battle angels, like the archangels for the god Horn.
Okay.
So, and the Ashlanders hold like Horn is their primary god, so they hold the Valkyries in very high regard. Okay. Jake just woke up.
Oh dear.
Morning, Jake.
In terms of Horn, like what we would know about Horn, like what would be like the common knowledge about Horn? Because I know we know Clay, Flo, Whale, and Nightwalker.
Let's see. I might actually have this in the journal, maybe.
Yeah, I was just double checking gods. There's 4 in there, but Horn's not one.
Horn. Okay, let me pull up Horn for you.
Yeah, I mean, like we could. Do we want to go like we? Because like the two options we were talking about, Dan, while you're gone, was like going to Guthrum because he was the one who had a theory about like what was going on, and then
Hmm.
the other one was potentially going and see the priestess because if there's something like runic and this is like magical, maybe that's a person who knows magic and could potentially give us some sort of insight into what's going on there. But we're
Yeah.
not sure
So
where she aligns
yeah, I
herself.
just pasted the text into chat. I'm actually
Now
going
that
to
she's
narrate
with,
that so the people on stream can read it if they want to.
I'll wait.
Yeah, it's the Asleen god. It's fire god of their homeland, embodied by the volcanoes. Um, yeah,
Yeah, definitely fire god. This is all kind
yeah.
of coming together.
Yeah. Now, if I recall, the Galdanes are most, beholden to tradition. And if they're, using this in a non-traditional way, maybe they are in to, you know, follow up on this. Maybe they'd be on our side a little bit. They're doing something, sacrilege.
And Guthrum was a Galdane warrior.
Yeah.
Right.
So that all kind of adds up. So priestess or, you know,
And then
might
it
be
Yeah.
a little.
says that Zertram, who is the leader of this area, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the person who's in charge. And it says there was the priest or priestess or prophet. So that
The
was a
high priestess, what's her face?
I have high priestess
Gilia.
Scylla, but then I also had like someone from the
Palakis.
Cords.
Yeah, their
Palakis,
priest
who
Palakis. And Palakis very much is a very strong believer that Zetrom is a prophet of uh, this god,
Horn.
Horn.
Yeah,
so at the moment it's kind of stacking up that the Cords might be a little on the crazy side, and the
agreed.
Galdanes might be on
Right. Right. I
a
mean, at
little
the
more
very
stable.
least, like this priest is. I mean, like my suspicions would immediately be like this priest is somehow helping, or
Related.
like, yeah. Because if priest stuff is perhaps related to magic stuff, like I don't know, maybe that would be my suspicion.
Mhm.
So which
Yeah,
means like talking to Skelia might not be as dangerous.
might be a safer path.
But we can always start with Guthrum, like if we don't want to get into the priestly stuff yet.
Yeah,
Well,
that'd
maybe we
probably be
can
my
talk
vote.
to him first and get a little more information, so then we can go talk to her,
Okay,
a little more
Yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah.
That
works for
works.
me.
And you know that Jeff, you learned that Guthrum can usually be found in the horse auction, hanging out in the old Coliseum.
Right. Okay. So I mean, like we can head back
Okay.
since like I don't. I mean, is there? Do you think there's any benefit to exploring more and seeing if we find any more of these animals, or do we just want to head back?
Finding more of them might be more dangerous to us at the moment than it might normally be.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were lucky enough to find one sleeping.
Yeah.
Right. That was Chuck being
Up
nice.
in a bed.
um. Okay. Yeah. I mean, let's head back then and get over to that horse market and see if we can find Guthrum.
Okay. Yeah, you head back to town. You start poking around the horse market, and it's you've heard that Guthrum is a member of the Galdane. So if you just ask it in Galdane, they can direct you to Guthrum, and he's easy enough to find. He's definitely one of the more senior members of the Galdane. He can still ride just fine. He's got a great eye for horses, but his fighting days are long behind him.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'll
make
be
sure-
impressed by her horse when we show up.
Exactly. Make sure Death Butter is nearby.
Yeah. So yeah, you go up to him, and he's like, you're the ones that bought that horse there off the other two. That's a fine beast. I've been training that one for months.
Oh, you trained this one here.
Yeah, I help
Huh.
out with the horses they sell.
Well, you did an absolutely stellar job,
job.
sir.
It's a great beast. Make sure you treat it well.
Oh, we will. I'll tell you, Death Butter is just part of the family now.
Death butter.
Hmm.
Haven't heard that name before, but it's fitting. If I remember correctly, one of them had Buttercup and the other one had something edgy.
Yeah, it's not bringing people together. A sign of peaceful negotiation and such.
You know,
So
I don't have that old hot blood in me to be as angry at the chords as some of the others are, but
that's good. That's good. With age comes wisdom and patience.
yeah.
I should know. I'm quite elderly myself,
Yeah.
like 89.
Yeah.
um, so, Mr. Guthrum, well, I'll tell you, we have heard your name from a few different parties, and this is kind of a delicate situation, but we were lending some aid to some of the farmers out in the countryside there who were dealing with some. I mean, fire. I'm just gonna say it: fire breathing animals, pigs, and whatnot, and we're trying to sort of suss out exactly why the countryside is
On with it.
being plagued by them. Yeah,
Oh, I have
yeah.
the answer for you.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I knew it. That's perfect. I'm glad we came to you. What would you mind sharing it?
Zetrome has captured a Valkyrie, lured her down from the heavens, and imprisoned her in his castle. And he's stealing the blood from the Valkyrie to create these abominations.
Right.
I believe he's building himself a demonic army,
Oh dear.
To what end, though?
probably to slay his father. Zetrome is a mortal enemy to his father, is Yogfer.
Right. So, I mean, I believe everything you just said. I'm just curious, what kind of evidence do you to have for this? Like, how did you come to this information?
You can hear the Valkyrie singing at night. And it's such a beautiful song. Only a Valkyrie, a servant of Horn, could create such an impassioned song.
I, does it? I mean, do you go across the river there, across the bridge, and you can
Yeah.
hear?
I go and I'll spend time with the uh, some of the camps set up across the river as they do their guard duty of the castle. And at night in those camps, when everything is quiet, you can hear the Valkyrie sing from deep inside that fiery castle.
Oh dear. Well, like how powerful if these Valkyries are so powerful, that their blood it can result in some of these creatures. How would Zertram be able to keep her prisoner?
I do not know. It should not be possible, but he is a mighty sorcerer. He's the child of the Yogfer that destroyed these lands and spread demon spawn across it. It would not surprise me that Zeotrim has some of that same ability.
So he's doing the same mistake again, it sounds like, but in a different way.
Now,
Could be, as they say, the apple does not fall far from the tree.
I'm curious. There, Guthrum. Have you spoken about your concerns with Priestess Scalia or your
Oh yeah, yes.
Skunza? Are you all planning to do something about this?
I am looking for some brave enough to defy Zertrim and storm the castle and rescue the Valkyrie. But it is tough to do because of the Cord. They worship Zertrim as a prophet of Horn.
Right, but I mean, the rest of the Goldane are behind you, right?
I our leader is on very good terms with Zertram. So they he puts up with my theories, but
Doesn't sound like he believes in him.
yeah.
Doesn't want to rock the boat or something.
Yeah, Skunza. He and Zertram are good friends, confidants. They meet regularly.
Hmm.
What about the priestess?
She has fallen out of favor with Zertram, and Zertram fallen out of favor with her. Between
Is
you and
it?
I, and he kind of leans in and whispers, I believe, and the priestess believes that Zertram is dead. And that this is
Oh.
actually Zertram's father, Zeogfer, has slain him and taken his place here.
Uh,
Mhm.
I beg your pardon.
Quite the conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Is there evidence for this?
The only evidence we have is that no one has seen Zertram in person except for Skunza and the Quard priest Palaka in ages.
Oh dear. Like ages, like months, years.
Years.
Oh my goodness. And he still rules this place, huh?
Yes.
Well, I tell you, it sure sounds like a change in leadership might be in order here, hypothetically.
Yes. If you're curious about it, Scalia has a coin from the old days that has the relief of Zertram on it.
So it's
But
got his likeness. Huh?
yeah, we just
Hmm.
she can't take it to Skunza because Skunza and Zertram are allied together. She's afraid that it would
I see.
spell her immediate and fiery doom. Even worse, she could become one of these fire-breathing experiments that's being created in the castle.
Wait, they can do that kind of thing to humanoids?
I don't. If they can do it to an animal, or men, but not animals that walk on two legs.
Oh dear. You don't have any like. I mean, you say the cords are kind of. Are they kind of in protecting him and such?
Right now, the inner guard of the castle, between the inner walls, are cords. They worship Zertram. They are, yeah.
But it
Oh,
sounds like we're kind of between a rock and a hard place here.
yeah. So they're
Valari
taking.
will pull out the kind of the nose pieces with the runes and show them to him.
It's like I've seen something like this before.
Where have you
One
seen
of
these runes?
one of the old hunting parties brought back a fire-breathing deer, and scarring the deer's face were runes like this.
Was anyone able to trace the runes or their meaning?
Uh, Scalia was working on it,
Okay. So that sounds
but
like
I don't know.
some merit in talking to her either way.
That hunting party. See, I'm not saying I don't disbelieve anything you're saying. I'm just personally curious about how these animals get out into the wild from where they're at, which makes me think that perhaps there's. I mean, it's not like people are parading them through town, across the bridge and such, and near the
Perhaps
horse market.
there's some other route in or out of the castle.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
I'm not sure. There could be. If there is, I don't know of it. I've actually taken my rides around the the crag that the castle is built into, um, and I found no other entrances on it. So if you
Do,
once
do
again,
they guard anything other than the front?
they only guard the front. The only way that we know of into Amber's Peak is through the front. But yeah, if you can see on the other side of the river, is the castle's pretty much nestled into a hollow in this crag, this small
Perhaps
mountain.
it's less obvious. And there is water all around it too.
Hmm. Is it, if we were to go again, I'm not again not trying to insult your work, but my my friend Balari here is a fairly excellent scout, okay cook, and I think if it's possible, could we get across and maybe look around that crag? You think without alerting
Well,
any kind of attention?
only the Aisling are allowed across and into the castle. I actually, maybe we could dress you up.
I do like to cosplay.
You do have a horse that would make anyone jealous. I was planning on just sneaking through the inner gate and just walking on up to it as an Aisling. I won't be, the Cords who guard the inner gate, and that would be what's flagged down as Area 9. This open area here, which is 8 on both sides of the road, the Geldane guard that area. And until, a handful of months ago when the Cords started showing up for their pilgrimage, the Geldane also guarded the inner gate. But the Skunza, the Geldane leader, relinquished that because the Cords wanted to be able to help protect some too. So they were stationed there in the inner gate.
Well, the Gildane on the other side of the bridge, I mean, if you were with us or if you gave us some sort of, note of passage, would they give us any trouble if we crossed?
As you are now, they wouldn't allow it. The only
I
people
see.
who can give permission to enter the castle proper are you would have to be escorted by Palaka, you would have to be escorted by Skunza, or Zetrom himself would have to come and escort you in.
It seems unlikely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I see. Um, hmm. Now, is it any? Do you happen to know any quartz at all who might be suspicious of this, or are they all just kind of drinking, the proverbial flavored
The
water?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They are all their leader. She's level-headed. She's wise. But yes, they all listen to Palaka's teachings. That
Do you
Zetrom
think?
is
Yeah.
the
You think
prophet.
it? You think that Meridia, I think her name is. You think she's at all? Think there's a way to put a wedge between her and the priest?
I've never spoken to her. I've only heard of her, and I've seen her here at the auctions. She rides a wonderful stallion.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
More wonderful than Death Butter.
it would be a very, very tight match if they were to ever race.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. If we were to want to talk to Scalia, Priestess Scalia,
Uh-huh.
where would we go about finding her?
You can find her down in our camp. It's what would be flagged as
Okay.
2.
All right.
Be anything you can send with us to get us a little favor for meeting with her?
Take that bit of meat that you have.
Okay, that's sufficient.
Yeah.
That's a bit inappropriate there, sir. Sorry. Misunderstood.
But yeah,
You've been very helpful. Thank you
bring
for
that.
your
Feel free
time.
to, drop my name.
We're going to do a little bit more investigation, but I do feel we're going to be meeting up again.
This would be great. When it is time for you to venture into the castle and free the Valkyrie, I want to be there with you.
Just out of loyalty to Horn, or
Yeah. It is my duty. It is all of our duties. I'm sad that more of my clansmen, my friends, don't want to take up this holy cause as well.
Can I roll a little insight on that? See if if he is as earnest as I think he is.
There's some
Yeah.
personal gain in there,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm not against a person looking to have personal gain, but this is not my best. But I got 2 6s, so
Wow.
two
Wow.
successes.
It's important because we need our personal gain to come out on top.
He's being very earnest about it, but you kind of get the feeling, when old warriors reach the end of their days, a lot of times they want to go out,
Yeah.
with some great story under their belt. And if you're gonna die and have to meet your God, what better way than to die while freeing
In the service of
a servant of that God? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he's not necessarily concerned with getting out, just getting in, whereas we would be concerned with both.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I won't bring it up with him. That's perfectly
Okay.
fine.
It's just good to know. He might
Yeah.
might be a bit of a loose cannon.
Yeah. As we walk away, like I'll raise that question basically.
Okay.
And, all right. I mean, do you have any other questions for him?
Can't think anything to put to him. I mean,
You can always come
I'm
back.
pretty well set for disguising myself if we ever want to try and do something
Yeah.
off the cuff
Sure.
without him.
I mean, we've done the whole like, hey, I'm a wonderful bard and do great things. We could always say we want to sing for the honor of so and so. We could always try that, but it doesn't sound to me like they sound to me more reverent as opposed to my irreverence.
You fit the bill or
Yeah.
you don't come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk to Scalia?
I think there's merit in doing that. I mean, we'll probably just confirm things we know, but
Sure.
Agreed.
Yeah, you can head over to the Geldane camp. And sure enough, you find through the kind of the tent they've got set up as their little church. It's larger. It's all dyed pure white, and it looks like they do a good job of keeping it clean, and it bears the holy symbols of horn on it. And inside, you can see there's several priests and priestesses working, but you can kind of see the high priestess has got the fanciest outfit with gold trimming on it. She bears a small torch with her at all times, this ornate like brass torch. And as you walk into it, you're immediately greeted by kind of like one of the lower tier clergy. Like, you are not of the Aslian. Have you come to learn of Horn and all the greatness that our father creates and destroys?
learn some, yes. Share some, perhaps more so.
Very good. If you would please, and he ushers you over to a small set of pews, like, sit, and I will tell you the stories.
I like stories, so I'll
Sure.
sit down.
Sure.
Be
And
respectful.
yeah, this is one of those things. He will gladly go on for hours, just
Yeah.
regaling you of the scripture and the stories and the lore of Horn. While you can see who you're pretty sure is Scalia, just going about her duties, prayers, consulting with other clergy. But yeah, you learn all the lore. So there's not much outside of what I already gave you, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. After
Yeah.
we've sat for a seemingly respectful amount
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah.
yeah, you feel like you've been there for probably 2 or 3 hours, but you look at your sundial wristwatch. I mean, it's been like 10 minutes.
We spent a week here one afternoon.
But yeah, you manage like, well, excuse me, I want to look around, or whatever your excuse is going to be.
Yeah, I'll just outright and say, pardon me, I have to beg an audience with your the priestess here for a moment, please.
Yeah. You make your way to the priestess, and she, greetings. New faces are always a pleasant sight.
Did we bring our horse with us?
Probably
not
not inside.
inside. That would be awkward.
Okay, I thought there were a lot of horses just moving about.
Yeah, there are,
It-
but just not inside
Yeah,
the
Okay.
church. Yeah,
yeah. I figured we were in some kind of like structure.
yeah.
So
And a
Oh, I thought
large
it was
tent,
just like
yeah.
a
yeah,
open
tent, yeah.
area. And
Yeah.
okay.
With me, I'd like
Got
to
it
see
now.
one.
Just horses everywhere, sipping martinis. They're horse people.
Yeah.
I hope one of them's got like
This
the
is
beer
Sarah.
helmet
This is
on.
Jessica. Okay.
So yeah, she's like, greetings. New faces are always a pleasure. How may I
Oh,
help you?
hope you'll feel the same way after we share with you what we have.
Well, we've been directed to you, madam, by an old Guldane warrior by the name of Guthrum, who he shared some concerns that we had with him, and we thought, well, I think it might be best to speak with you. You seem more knowledgeable on some of these. We're new to these parts. And I'll kind of go through like a really quick abbreviated version. We were trying to help some people out in the farmland. The farmland kind of revealed blank in this that led us to Guthrum, and now we're desperately concerned about the potential for half human, half beast or demon folk wandering around. This is just not good, and
Not good for business.
no, it's not.
Yeah. As soon as you bring up, Guthrum, and you bring this up, she gets a really serious look on her face, and she's just like, "Very well, come with me." And she kind of leads you back through a flap into a small enclosed area. So you've come asking about the fire beasts from Guthrum. He believes that Zatrome has kidnapped a Valkyrie and is using the Valkyrie's blood to create fire monsters that Zatrome is then releasing into the world.
I guess we want to know what do you think?
Right.
This
Do you
is-
believe?
This is clearly disrespectful to our great leader Zatrome, who we have served for generations. And I would never believe such a thing.
Well, this is one of those ones where we need that inside check again.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, I definitely want
Did
to
you show
kind of
her
read
the nose meat?
Not
Oh yeah,
yet.
you do. I
Or
mean,
do
we
we-
haven't yet.
We hadn't yet.
Okay.
But I'm.
I mean, I'll roll it inside. I don't care. I'll give it a
Okay.
go.
I mean, I can do that too.
I do it. I don't mind doing this kind of stuff because like if worst case scenario, I can fall back on my pride. So because my
Okay.
pride's like on the side.
Okay, we'll go ahead and roll it out.
I'll push and I'll commit my pride. So I got honest eyes, so I feel like I can tell when somebody else has them too.
Oh yeah,
Do you think that would
Sure,
would apply?
yeah.
Is there a way to add it, or do I just roll it
I
separately?
think you just
now?
roll it separately. I don't know of a way to add it.
All right, so let me push it first, and then I'll roll.
There's a
Is
success.
it a D12?
Yeah.
Pride is a D12. Yeah. Pride
Nothing
does
on the
not
pride,
pop
but
off.
I did pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that she's very guarded on this, and she's not being truthful about this, and you feel it's a protective reaction.
Sure.
Um,
I mean,
like she's
Right.
she's not trying to, what if you're, someone sent here by Zatrome and
From your position,
Right,
madam,
right.
I would imagine that a couple outsiders here coming and talking these kind of seditious theories might look a little. Bellari, can you show the madam what we found?
Yeah, and so I'll kind of look all around, make sure no one else has come in, and kind of pull that out of my pack and uncover it and show her the boar's nose.
she looks it over like, oh, you fought one of the beasts.
It was sleeping, thank goodness, so it was easy.
What?
Oh,
thanks.
I mean,
Um,
that one was sleeping, but the other one, which was enormous, was awake. And well, Dan here and I, we tackled that sucker to the ground, hog-tied it.
Great.
she'll be like, I
It's greatest.
would have not guessed this from non-riders such as yourselves, but you've done a good service capturing and destroying this beast. I do have to tell you that, at least in some aspects, I believe that Guthrum is wrong.
I see.
I
What aspects would those be?
I do not believe that a Valkyrie has been captured. I do not believe it is possible for a shield maiden of Horn to be captured.
Do you believe
Yeah,
something else has
I
been
was
captured?
suspicious of that too.
I do.
Yeah.
I have my theory that Zetrom is dead and has been his father, Zeogfer, has been ruling in Zetrom's place
I
as
don't
an
think that can
imposter.
happen.
What's that?
We heard that too.
Yes, because this Zeogfer was well known to intermingle demon and creature to create many of the horrors found throughout the Ravenlands here. And
So,
this matches what I believe it to be, but I have no proof.
right. Now, I guess my question would be, I mean, maybe it's Guthrum's theory might be incorrect, but I believe he suggested that the intermingling of the Volcry blood with these other creatures is what creates these spawn. You say it's Zeogfer. Uh, how would he be able to do this? Do you have any insight
I
into how he's doing this?
I do not know the
Hmm.
dark sorceress arts that would be able to create this kind of thing. My guess would be that he has either captured or befriended a fire demon that is in the castle, and the fire demon and Zeogfer are working together.
Dumb question. Does the castle always look like it's got fire on it? Has that been normal forever, for all time, or is that
No, in the
recent?
old days, it would only be lit aflame for celebrations, and we would pour oil along the castle walls and ignite it. Or
Seems
Zeogfer
practical.
has the ability to, not Zeogfer, but Zetrom could use his magic to cast this castle in fire. But, for the past year or so, the castle is always ringed in fire.
And that seems inefficient.
Heating spaces like that is a real bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Very drafty.
What is your theory on the beautiful singing that comes from the castle?
Only Guthrum has heard it, or at least only Guthrum has admitted to it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, perhaps third opinion or third party opinion might help with that if we can find some means to spend some time around it and confirm or deny some credibility there.
You, I know of no way for you to enter the castle. If you're wanting a third opinion, I have no desire to go there, and I do not believe I am welcomed anymore.
Madam, I don't mean disrespect, but if you're of the belief that the sorcerer Yogfer is here and is creating demon spawn to overtake the world once more, and this is your theory, and you have the respect of several Galdane, is it not your duty to do something about this?
I I agree with you, but I have no proof. This is just a theory. I do have, and she'll produce an old gold coin, and she'll show it to you, and it does have, a face, a relief, a likeness on it, and that is Zetrom. His face used to mark our old coin. But I have not seen Zetrom in years. The only two people who can enter the castle freely and have had audience with Zetrom is the Quard priest Palakis and our leader Scunnis. But Scunnis is very loyal to Zetrom, and I brought up my concerns at one point, and he was quite infuriated, and since then I have not held Scunnis's favor. Um, And I'm sure that I do not have Zjogfur's or Zetrum's favor as well.
How long ago was the coin changed?
It would have been, when I was a wee child. We stopped, the coin of the elves that is used now is just what we use.
Maybe we can take an impression or something of that coin. That way we can have something to reference.
I would allow this. I will not part with it, but I've heard of, certain artists being able to recreate it or just study it well and learn its face by heart.
And what of the runes here?
She would inspect it. She would, you can tell she's doing a little bit of her own sorcery, magical kind of things as she inspects it. Maybe the runes glow faintly. She's like, this is actually fire warding. Protection from fire. If you found this inside of the beast that breathed fire, my guess is that
Protects the beast from itself.
Yeah.
And who would know how to do such magics?
Well, Zjogfur. Zetrum also was a powerful sorcerer in his own right.
Everything's kind of pointing in one direction. We did have, perhaps you might know something about this as well. These beasts are getting out by some means, but it doesn't seem like they're going through town. Is there perhaps another?
I know of no way through the mountains, if that's what you're asking. But Zetrum, at one point, before vanishing to the public, had a great lizard mount that could scale walls. If Zjogfur has claimed this mount as their own, climbing down the side of the castle and down the mountain wall would be an easy task.
So perhaps he's leaving and creating these monsters?
Or creating them and then delivering them.
Taking them out. Yeah, it's possible.
I've not had a chance to study one of these creatures myself. This is the closest I've been as she holds up this flayed snout.
I mean,
how interested would you be in studying one?
It would be great help. I might be able to discern more, and I don't know if it would help me confirm my theories, but it would at least help me, build on what I already know.
Perhaps we can get a cover and go retrieve the rest of this one for you.
That would be quite wonderful. In fact, if you like, I have not been out in a while. I'd be willing to ride along with you if you would just take me there, and it would probably be safer for me to study it.
That wouldn't raise any suspicions or anything.
We are people who ride horses.
Perhaps we can show you our glorious horse as well, and
I would be thrilled to see your horse.
It could be perhaps some leverage to our excursion.
Well enough.
Death Butter.
Death Butter. What a interesting name.
Right.
We heard that to race DB and your horse may actually be close.
I don't know about that. My horse her hoofs are guided by the divinity of Horn, but I'd be willing to give it a go.
Worth the experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ours is guided by the divinity of butter and death. So,
what a matchup!
It's a match made in
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you all want to take her out?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So we can hand wave this a bit. You take her out there. studies it for a bit, and she kind of reconfirms some of the information that you've already shared. Kind of when she comes out of that little burrow, she's just covered in like blood and gore. She's gone deep in like
Oh,
dissecting this. Um, and she has a organ, you could say, some meaty bits, and she's like, I found this deep within the neck, the throat of that boar. And she's just like, if you, and she kind of gives it a squeeze. It's got like a little, it looks like just a sack, like a meaty sack, and she kind of squeezes out, and there's a little like tube coming out of it, and as it drips onto the ground, it starts to sizzle. Um, this is foreign. I don't know if it was grown inside the beast or implanted there. But all around this, there were more of those sigils, and some of them, and she pulls it out, and there's actually little bits of silver. Some of these sigils were cast in silver and implanted into the beast around this sack.
hmm.
Why would they use silver, you reckon?
Silver does good for healing if you're going to implant a foreign object into another creature's body. That silver has its own magical properties that help ward against some creatures.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
Probably, this creature was not meant to contain or spew forth flame. This was probably all just to keep the poor creature from cooking itself alive.
I see. Well, and you have some proof now that there's somebody, at least with an Amber's Peak, that's
All right, well,
participating in this kind of
we have proof
experimentation.
that this is an artificially created creature.
Man,
I
not
still
from where.
cannot publicly claim that it came from Amber's Peak. We have no proof of that. Still just suspicions.
Madam, it's attacking the farmland right outside of Amber's Peak, and clearly this is the work of someone with great sorcery and intelligence. And whether it's Zertrum or Zeog, is there somebody else within Amber's Peak that you think has the capacity to do this type
No
of?
one that I know. I cannot enter Amber's Peak, but I was at the tavern last night.
Hear me play?
I heard you play.
Pretty pretty
You were
good.
You
quite
enjoy the
well.
bread?
The bread was good. It was a pleasant change from the, you know, bricks that they usually serve. Were you responsible for that?
I shared a tip or two with the baker.
Well,
It should be better moving forward.
I am grateful for that. My teeth could not handle any more of gnawing on that wood that they called bread.
Baking is a delicate art and it will be
Yes.
improved over time. And I have like a spare roll that I took with me, and so I'll like give it to her. for a snack.
she accepts. Like, thank you very much. I
Mhm.
will save it for later. After what I've just done, I have not much of an appetite, but
Yeah,
I do appreciate it. Thank you. My point being that I have no way into the castle. Guthrum, he just wants to charge in like the glory of his youth. There are other protections in place that I don't know of. I'm sure of it. But I believe if I make a plea to Skunis, maybe I can have him escort you in to see if Zetrum would be willing to entertain music. I'm sure it's been ages, years since Zetrum's come out and heard anything played in town. Zetrum, does have their own personal bard, Marigal, but I'm sure different music would be appreciated, or even Marigal would be appreciative of sharing news tales with a group such as yourselves.
Is Marigal woman, man?
Marigal is both and neither,
Hmm.
if you follow my means.
Understand. I lean towards to Dan. I'm like, well, maybe that's the singing. There's a on staff minstrel.
Perhaps. And I may do little path of the face thing here and try to mimic like a chord, and perhaps I may be able to find my own information once we're inside. I can do that without spending a willpower. In this case, it lets me mimic voices, demeanors, etc.
Okay. But yeah, she's just like, let me speak with Skunis, and I'll see if I can arrange your safe transport into the castle.
We'd be grateful, thank you.
And so you all return back. I think this is probably a good point to rest it for the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next session, we can kind of pick up with information if she can get you into the castle or not. You've got a lot of information to work off of, and I don't want to, venture into a potentially dangerous area without the rest of the
More
crew here
input.
to help out. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's going to be dangerous inside of a castle with demons being sliced with animals and other creatures and some big
How could it
old
be
like
dangerous
lizard mount
Dan
thingy
in the party.
and
Yeah.
possibly super powerful sorcerer. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. So I believe this is the time of the session where we do experience. Let
Yay.
me bring up my.
Maybe I can have Path of the Face rank 3 before we go inside, and then I
There you
can
go.
fully disguise myself.
All
There we go.
right. So keep track of your own XP.
Yep.
Did you participate in the session?
Indeed.
All right.
Oh,
Did you travel through at least one hex on the game map that you had not visited before? Yes, a
Yes.
couple to hand waving and one of them legitimately.
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah,
That's 2 XP then, right?
I don't think so. Good
Two
try.
methods, 2 experience.
Did you discover a new adventure site? I don't remember. Last session, did you all take the point for Amber's Peak?
I do not recall.
I don't remember.
We're just going to say no, so take a point for discovering Amber's Peak.
Gotcha.
Did you defeat
Also
one or
on a
more
whole
monster?
Yeah.
It was sleeping,
Yeah.
but yes.
Half a point. No.
Did you find a treasure worth 1 or more gold? You earned
Treasure
some
was
coin.
friends that we made.
You got
Treasure
a
her
horse.
friendship.
The rune thing, would that be?
You know what? Yeah,
We
a
did
silver
get a horse.
magical
although we had
rune.
to
I'll
pay.
call it. Yeah, go
We
ahead.
spent money for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Oh,
still.
and we got death butter. I mean,
You
death
got-
butter is
yeah,
a treasure. Or
That's
butter
a
death.
treasure. Yeah. We still aren't doing anything with strongholds. Jeff, you activated your pride.
Yep.
Melissa, have you figured out what your new pride's going to be yet?
Yeah, so this is my session, my prideless session,
Okay.
as a consequence from last time. But I
Okay.
think my new pride is going to be not getting us lost and like
Okay.
finding the right path. So
That's
I think that's going to be my.
done a good job so far.
Realized I should have used my pride earlier when we were trying to sneak on the boar.
Yeah. I don't think anyone suffered from their dark secrets. I've actually got everyone's dark secrets recorded. One of these days, I'll start incorporating them. Risk your life for another PC. There wasn't. I don't think so.
Probably not.
Not
Not
really.
really. I did still spend all of my money though.
Okay. Well,
Good job.
If that's part of your dark secret, go ahead and take it. Yeah.
We gotta stop giving this son of a bitch money.
Yeah. Pretty much. Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind? I don't
know.
I mean, the little riffs that I was given with that like 5
Oh,
6 cents.
yeah. I would not say no to that. You did
Okay.
kind of knock it out of the park.
I will take that. if you look
My
at it.
only
Cleanly
extraordinary
pulled
thought was actually
runes
sneak.
out of the.
Yeah.
Actually sneak.
I cleanly pulled runes out of the inside of a boar's nose.
You did. I'm not going to say no
Just
to that
kidding.
if you think it's
Not.
worth it.
No,
So,
it's-
yeah, there's our experience. We'll be back at this in 2 weeks. Hopefully, we'll have our 2 missing players, Amar and Osborne. They're in for some surprises. Yeah, what do we got? I'm Chuck. Dan and I are with Defenders of Cobalt. You can find us twitch.tv/Defenders of Cobalt. We got stuff on Wednesdays, either spectaculars or some dark trails, or we do stuff on Fridays, either Mutineer Zero or our evil 5th Ed D&D campaign. I also run games here, which you just watched, every other Saturday, or the opposing Saturdays. I'm running stuff over on Goodman Games Official. You can also check us out on Sunday nights or the occasional Tuesday night on Notorious DMG TV for some Shadowrun or First Ed D&D. We got zines out too. Dan Dies in the End and Hellazine 2020, both on drive-through, and we're just a handful of days from releasing the next one, which is Jeremy Dies in the End. And then we'll be talking about what we're going to do for the next scene. Jeff and Melissa, you want to tell us about what you got going on?
Yeah, twitch.tv/the lollygaggers. We're Adventures in Lollygagging. We play various tabletop role-playing games on that channel, but also on Free League. So you can actually catch us. Our next game is about an hour and a half over on our own channel, so the Lollygaggers channel, where we're going to be playing Best Left Buried, which is kind of like a fantasy horror crawl. Then this Monday, back here on Free League Publishing, we are continuing our Vaesen game that we've been playing for a couple months, so you can catch us there. We also play Alien and Mutineer Zero on our own channel as well, so we do a lot of Free League stuff, so you can come check that out.
Very cool. All right. That's all we got.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I got shit else. Go watch Jeff and Melissa here in a couple hours, play some more stuff.
Come back again.
Yeah.
Come back again. I don't know. We'll catch y'all later.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
I got to find the right thing again. It's missing.
Keep waving. Keep
Keep
waving,
waving.
Melissa.
All right. I'm just going to go
The
this
other
way. Bye, everybody.